And I'm a clairvoyant, psychic, medium, and spiritual healer based in New Zealand. Welcome. So this is a full moon forecast. That's right, it's your full moon forecast for the 17th of October. It is the full moon today here in New Zealand. It should be for a full moon wherever you are, and this one is incredibly potent. You can expect more updates like these when my members club opens, so you'll be getting forecasts, cosmic insights and whatnot, but this moon feels very intense. Oh, whoa, it was a doozy. So, yes, okay, I'm not quite sure what astrological sign it is. Usually I just start downloading things and then I start dreaming of things, so that's just what I'm going to talk about. I wrote out some really brief notes here. So this full moon, and I want to talk about a little bit of the stuff that I've been dreaming about. So there has been a cosmic gateway that has been opening. I've been dreaming of walking through gateways, and then gateways closing. And this has something to do with the time period of when the lockdowns began. Something opened there, and then I was dreaming of this 4-year period. And it feels like this 8-8 Lions Gate was really, because usually cycles happen over long periods of time. We have to be really patient sometimes. And the 8-8 Lions Gateway that had recently happened in August, the 8th of the 8th, and we had the eclipses, and then we had the equinox, and then we had another eclipse. So there was a gateway within a gateway. And then this full moon felt very finished and finite, as in, it's time to move on now. So there's, okay, what am I getting? Okay. With the gateways and how they happen and how they pertain, there was a closing off point and a turning point that has happened. And it takes a while for this to fully be, almost, I want to say, reconstructed in our cosmos so that we can actually fully start feeling the effects of these changes that are happening. And this is when people start going through awakenings. If you're resonant with my work, especially if you are a man, and you, I would say you are probably a part of the same soul grouping as me, or a very similar frequency, and you are going to go through this awakening, and it's very, very timed on the soul and what's happening with the divine masculine and the energies that are beginning to open up, because we are welcoming in the loving king. So there's almost like, then we've got the king opening the gates for these men to walk through, and then these men are going to go on these awakenings and get sort of ordained into their divine masculine energy by the divine feminine. I've talked about that. So if you're very resonant with me, if you've been dreaming about me, you'll probably be in my dreams too. It's a soul group thing, and it's a soul frequency thing. So I know that my information and my messages aren't for everyone. Okay, so I was also dreaming a lot and hearing a lot. Tick tock, tick tock, tick tock, time is running out. Or a lot of the things that happened the past few months and what I was experiencing, and then how people were just sort of playing out their negativity onto me, or, doing really lazy, unjust things, or just not really thinking about what they were doing and why and what they were really gaining from that. And I kept dreaming and I kept hearing tick tock, time is running out. There is a finite time amount left for people to continue acting this way. And then today I heard time's up. So I was very aware that stuff was closing down and that people were running out of time for as that frequency changes in our cosmos. So does the energies that are being supported. So that's why there's awakenings happening, because your energy is being supported to move into higher, more fruitful frequency, and it can be really, really uncomfortable, and a lot of people don't know what's going on. Now, this is why the YouTube channel is being set up, so I can relay the information and you can know what's going on, because there's so much noise out there, and there's so much strife, and there's so much stress. And then what happens when these things like these full moons begin to happen? We begin to feel them in our bodies, and we're like, what is going on? Why can't I focus on this project today? Why am I so emotional? It's because there's stuff that's going on that's affecting you. I actually myself, I found this full moon to be very, very trying, and it was just, I had a lot of really weird dreams, and I couldn't focus on things. I think it is, for the last few months, I found it hard to almost click in or resonate with stuff that just isn't for me, or trying to force something, or trying to force a connection, or trying to force, that this is a really good example. I was working away on, if you follow my Aphrodite's Gardens design and art Instagram page, I was working away on this dress, and I just didn't feel resonant with it. And the whole time I was sewing it, I just thought this, and I sort of made myself finish it. And I just didn't, I tried it on, it didn't work. There's all this stuff that just, it wasn't working. And I was like, oh, I'm going to have to, and I didn't follow my intuition, which is that I should have just made a top that I really enjoyed first instead of this massive dress. But sometimes, even with sewing and with life, you have to go through these massive projects and then just be like, okay, but that wasn't actually, I should have just made it really simple and listened to my intuition. Yeah, so the notes that I've got, and it is this, I can't describe it, but there seems to be a lot of chaotic energies, and it is really hard I found it really hard to navigate psychically. I found it hard to find clarity, and my sleep has been really up and down the past few weeks, and I don't know how other people's dream worlds are going, but mine has been weird. Okay, what did I write here? The full moon, oh yes, what have I got here on my notes? What was it? The full moon and yes, okay, so a really big theme with this full moon is that the full moon, here's your forecast, the full moon and the misdemeanors of others. And navigating, like, you know how sort of the misdemeanors, people choose to do something and it is really imbalanced or unfair or just really nasty or mean, and it is a misdemeanor. And it's a misdemeanor when they do it and then they realize, because there's a cause and effect and the clapback of it, that they shouldn't have done it, and then you're stuck dealing with the energy of the misdemeanor because unfortunately they, for some reason, chose you to play that out on. And there seems to be a lot of things happening, and a lot of people becoming very intolerant of dealing with other people's misdemeanors, and then you don't want to deal with that from that person anymore, and you don't have time or the energy to be focused on that. And it gets stronger and stronger, especially with this full moon. And over the last few weeks, these things have built up. Even my own tolerance has been very, very, I can't be bothered dealing with this person anymore. You decided to do an XYZ. And what I was being guided to do was to step back from that person's energy and distance myself and be like, okay, you chose to do that, so now you have got to deal with that, not me. So that's me navigating a misdemeanor that someone else chose and stepping back and distancing myself from the energy so I don't have to take it on or deal with it. You need to, it takes a bit of, it's classy to do that, but it takes a little bit of practice to be like, okay, that person just decided to spread some gossip or something, or, you know, and you can pertain this to anything in life. Oh, I was doing this painting and this person decided to come and mock my painting or something. And it's like the cause and effect is that people aren't going to like you and people aren't going to want to be around you. And so you have to let that person deal with it and be like, okay, I'm going away, and you can just deal with the feelings and the emotions that are going to come up, cause and effect of you choosing to act like that or enact something like that onto someone else. And so it's realizing when for this full moon to take your energy and take a step back from others and reroute yourself and focus on other things that are going to bring more positivity and generate more goodness for you. So say you had a breakup. You broke up with your girlfriend you'd been with for a few years, and you realized she wasn't really up to much. And she wasn't really doing it for you anymore. It seemed like a drain. It seemed like a waste. There was nothing happening. There was nothing going. There was nothing generating. And then you started to feel like you wanted to generate something more, you wanted more excitement, you wanted to go and try some things, but your girlfriend wanted to stay in the same energy. And then the misdemeanor was she chose not to engage with life with you, so you broke up with her. And so then you distance yourself and you let her figure it out and deal with it, and you sort of just step out of that energy, and reroute and regenerate your own energy into something better and higher. That was very helpful. Yes, that was very helpful. I needed to hear that one too. Oh, I needed that one. Okay. Yeah, understanding cosmic law and effect and moving yourself out of negativity. Shutting down, this is a big thing, shutting down, and it's happening naturally, shutting down dissonant frequencies where things just aren't matching anymore. They're not working. They're not working for you. Your job, your finances aren't working for you anymore. You want more. It can be a very overwhelming and confusing time because where am I going? What am I doing? I don't know, but I don't want this. And we're sort of in the middle ground right now, and it's like, okay, let's start moving after this full moon and start generating something better. Yes, big things on one-way street with people and dead ends, and I think this full moon, it really feels like it's been illuminating energies or people or circumstances that are dead ends or dead weight energy, and they're just not helping you or serving you, like really being illumined and highlighted. It's quite confronting because you probably felt it coming up the next few weeks, then bam, oh God, this is really not helping me or my life. This person or the energies or what they're up to in their life is really draining me. This is a dead end. This is a one-way street. I seem to be giving really nice things to this person, but this person just doesn't seem to be giving me anything back in my life. That's a one-way street where you're just there's nothing else other than that person. That person isn't adding to your life or whatnot, and it's going to become very illumined after this full moon and the currencies and the people around you, they just aren't cutting it anymore, and it's going to feel harder to continue indulging or connecting with their energies. Yes, and also jumping through hoops for what? You know how a dog jumps through hoops and you're jumping through hoops for people, but for what? For a teeny morsel of food, is it worth it? And there's just over exonerating your energy for things that aren't really generating anything back for you. And it's sort of just like your energy goes out, and then it's like, oh, that's it. That's what I get for that effort. Like that's what I get. That's how you're going to treat me. Okay, I am going to walk away from this and let you deal with that because I don't want to deal with that anymore. Okay, I think that's it. What else? It's that the swimming's very intense. There's a lot going on. Things that if intense things are happening to you and being illuminated, they're helping you figure out where you need to go and what your next steps are for the next mission of your manhood. Or for women, like your creativity and don't. Oh yeah, I had a lot of stuff come through about women and don't be a plain Jane. I'm going to write a bit more about that eventually somewhere. But for women are being asked to sort of step it up a little bit and start generating and cultivating with that divine feminine energy, that creative energy, and getting up off your ass and doing something more exciting. Don't be a beige babe. We don't want any more beige babes. We don't want any more influencers. We want relatable women who are doing great things. I love, let's find some women that we can look up to and that are doing good, healthy things and that we can admire and take inspiration from. That's what we're wanting. We're not wanting any more boring babes. We're not wanting any more plain Janes. That's really boring. Your boyfriend's going to dump you if you're going to be a plain Jane. And we want women who are out and about being, I want to say, healthily independent, but not this female empowerment independent. Because it's sort of rude sometimes. We just want like, oh yeah, I'm going to go and start this fashion brand. Or I'm going to go and do this thing that's been calling me. I don't want to sit on my butt in the evenings. I want to work away at something. I want to cultivate a business. I want to see an art gallery. And usually these things that are a bit more extravagant and a bit more divine, they sit energies for ages. But I can't start that art gallery. Oh, I can't do this. And then there comes a point where it's like, what are you waiting for? And this full moon is just like, can you just get going a little bit? Can you stop mucking around? And can you just get going on this new fresh energy? And it's great. Okay, anything else? I really needed that for myself. And today's the day that we say goodbye to a lot of stuff we just don't want to carry in the suitcase anymore. And we put the suitcase down and we open it and we say, I'm taking out the blanket when I was 3 that kept me all safe and nice. I'm taking out all this other crap that people said I'll be in this little blanket box where I'm a baby and I can't do anything for myself and I need my teddy bear. And no. Cosmo say no. You can't do that anymore, and you can't expect other people to carry your suitcase for you. It's time for you to carry your own suitcase to where you want to go. Oh, okay, that was intense. I know for myself, I had a lot of blah. It's a little bit like that, and sometimes if you're feeling a lot of stuff like this and wondering what's going on, just wait it out. Don't go and do any brash moves. Just sit down and wait it out and wait until you feel clarified and the energies are clearer. The last few weeks have been very, and even for me psychically, I've just been like, what is going on? It's been intense, and it's the new moon and the full moon. And we're just waiting now for a little bit more of alignment to come through. It's like sitting, and then we're just going to wait for this energy that's going to go, shoop, right, off you go. And it is, a lot of us have been waiting for it. I'm just going to say about the lockdowns and whatnot. There seems, with these astrological events and whatnot, usually it's very handy to go and see an astrologer, and they can tell you what happened 4 years ago, then what happened in the 1950s, or what happened in the 1800s, and how it pertains to today. And just, we don't have to, okay, so say someone's mocking you, and there is just, like, and you take a step back from it, and you think, what is this person gaining from mocking me? They're not gaining anything because it's a misdemeanor. And so if you get mocked or stuff like that, I don't know why I'm saying mocked, you take a step back from the person's energy and you just let them carry on in what they're doing and walk away. I think that's a really big important point with this full moon. You just walk away and distance yourself and let that person deal with the ramifications of choosing to act like that, because I've seen it's definitely ramping up, and we're running out of time to continue to act that way here. Okay, am I finished? I think I am finished. Yeah, it just feels like, okay, we're finished, we're done tolerating that, we're done hearing about that, we're done working with that, I'm done with this now, let's go. And you're going to go off somewhere else. It's just not going to work anymore. It's just not going to work. Whew, okay, thank you so much for watching. I hope that was helpful, and welcome. Thank you. Thank you for listening to your full moon forecast. I hope that wasn't too flighty. But yes, thank you very much for watching. And just keep an eye out on things. Things are changing. You're not crazy. There's a lot of stuff happening, and sometimes we just have to wait it through and wait it out until we gain that clarity about where we want to go. I know it's been a very frustrating few years for many. There's been a lot of examples of people we just don't want to work with, of people we don't want anything to do with, and people we just don't have the time or the effort or the money to indulge in anymore. Okay, thank you so much for watching, and I hope that was helpful.